Hello and welcome to the one, the only Dead Dude podcast. Bradley Clark, hailing from Hamilton, Ontario,
Hello.
together with son Jace. Hi, Jace. How you doing?
Say good. Say good. You shy.
Blow your mind?
That was so crazy. Come on. I have been watching Survivor ever since episode one, season one. And the first couple episodes of this season, I was like, okay, yeah, same old Survivor. I didn't think there's anything new that could happen until this last episode. It was so crazy.
Okay, you had some great first reactions here.
I unfortunately can't say I've seen every single season, every single episode because I was in a monastery for a year, so I missed that year, and I was in France for another year, so I didn't catch it then. And the internet was terrible there, so I couldn't stream it. But other than that, I have seen faithfully every single episode and season. Oh my Don't even don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. I that would be like, oh my, it's so funny seeing the fans play Survivor now, and they just go to tribal council and they're just so happy. Even though it's the worst day of their lives because someone's getting voted off. How could you not smile when Jeff Probst extinguishes your torch? It's just that would be me.
Some of them are like, can't wait to get to my first tribal council. Lo and behold, they're perhaps the first one to get voted off that day. They're like, it's not
Yeah.
Survivor till you
Yeah,
meet
that
Jeff at tribal council. So as a
exactly. It's they've got 2 days and they've won the immunity challenge. No, I want a tribal council. I want more time with pro. Jervis.
Jarvis, fun.
Yeah, from season one, he could hold his breath for 7 minutes, but he couldn't swim. It was so funny. Anyways,
I
going back to that first season is so hilarious. Seeing how low tech their sets are and stuff. It's just funny. So whoa, whoa, whoa! You're not one of those. You're not one of those survivors and real people. Come on, get out of town. I don't care what people say. Yeah, okay, there's camera sets. There's camera crew there, and but they have to survive. They have very minimal food. They're out in the island, braving the elements. Besides that little cyclone episode this time. But other than that, they are out there doing it, and it's intense. It's intense. Oh yeah, okay, sure. Maybe it's not how that happens, but they still have to compete in those challenges, and there is still the one real competition. And maybe they want to do some, extra camera angles or something. But who cares? That's inconsequential to the actual what they're doing there, which is surviving.
all right.
Out play out loud. It's all about that, baby. It's all about that.
Tell me what are you all about when it comes to Jarvis?
For some reason, ever since that episode, my family always I ask oh, who was that survivor who did this or in this season, who's the person who's the attorney general, and the first response is always Jervis. For some reason, that is if you don't know who someone is, you just instantly go and say it's Jervis because I don't know, it's just a cool thing.
Like an Clark family inside joke.
Yeah,
Are
yeah,
you,
exactly.
are
Sorry,
you trying to figure out the
it doesn't
name
really
of?
relate well to the podcast world, but it's funny for me.
Ever you got someone's name on the tip of your tongue and you can't figure it out, and you ask somebody else. Someone says, "Oh, it's definitely that's Jarvis. You're talking about Jarvis, right?"
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. And they say, Jordan, what? But then I just start laughing and laughing, and then they don't get it. Anyways,
All right,
let's move
cool.
on.
All right, let's talk about Jessica. Jessica, go with the
Yeah, Jervis.
eyes.
Yeah, yeah,
Paranoid
yeah.
Jessica.
Recap for the podcast world for us. What do I think about that? Well, I don't know. You got to play the social game, right? People don't realize how much of Survivor is actually a social game. Like that is it's huge. You can't just have this awesome, masterful plan. Everyone who does always gets voted out if they can't back it up with making those relationships, checking in with people, being paranoid, 99% of the time works, except for this episode. Like when you're actually, I don't know. It's like have a real paranoia. Like it has to be like a contrived paranoia, not like a real paranoia like David has. Yeah, she just got the power went to her head, just like with Paul. She voted off Paul because like he was so strong, just kind of like a dictator, and then she like just instantly fell right into that same trap that Paul went into.
Kind of like
It never worked.
her personality, and she doesn't know how to hold it back or how to finesse.
Exactly. Everyone wants to feel like they're the one deciding who's getting voted off. And as soon as you make it, as soon as you change that, as soon as you tell someone they're going to vote someone off, they don't like that. It always happens. Like you have to make it sound like it's their idea that person's going to be voted.
So let's talk about Ken and his reaction. Ken, by the way, is perhaps my favorite survivor.
I just don't think he's the brightest light bulb in the box, you know? Like he's just he just likes, things to go his way. He's always used his charm to like make things happen the way he wants to happen. And again, you can't and he just who are you gonna tell me what to do? I'm gonna tell you what to do. And just like a little kid. Yeah, like that's everything always goes back to your childhood, right? And like, sure, Ken might have some issues with authority and stuff, but again, even if you have like certain concerns or certain like personality conflicts in Survivor, you have to put that aside, and you can never let your emotion like take over and control your game. So even if he has problems with Lucy as being authoritative, you have to realize like how can you play that to your advantage and not just like instantly react to that, which is tough because you're sleep deprived, you're food deprived, you're in these like harsh conditions, like, and that's what makes Survivor so great because people don't think in a very like logical way. Like their true characters always comes out, and then you see people make like ridiculous choices. That's what makes it entertaining.
For me, I think all the contestants we've ever had on Survivor, Ken is probably the who I am. So it almost feels like I'm watching myself and how I would do on Survivor. Have you ever had a moment like that when you looked at somebody on Survivor and say, probably what I would do? Let's see how well I would do on Survivor through that person.
Yeah, like there's always one. I think this season, Adam is the person that I relate the most to. So I'm excited to see how he does. He's kind of playing a quiet role right now, but I think he's going to make it far. He'll be a shining light in the weeks to come. So I think he's going to have a good chance of making it all the way.
Great time to move over to Adam then. Let's talk about Adam and how, while his tribe mates are all searching for a goat, guy who's searching for an idol. What do you make of that?
Yeah, like he realizes, like, guys, this is a game. Like, why are you chasing that goat? No, there's no way anyone's gonna like do anything with that goat. Like, there's no way that if they even like come close to putting their hand on it. So he's like, perfect opportunity. Let's get an idol. And what do you know? He's like, yeah. And you see how excited he was when he found it. Like, just the pure fact of like being on Survivor and finding an idol is like a dream come true. Like I
First,
can totally relate to that.
first he had to find the clue, right? Find the
Oh yeah.
clue. And then he was a little bit disappointed when he realized it was just a clue.
Yeah. Yeah. There's finding the idol and there's knowing how to use the idol. Okay, can we just cut to the real like crux of this whole episode? Because yeah, obviously an idol is not going to guarantee a win because you could be the most ridiculous person and do what David did.
Okay. But before we hop over to David, let's talk a little bit about Adam and his mom.
Yeah, he's a smart guy. He's gonna use that idol wisely. He's gonna keep it secret like you should. Play it when it needs to be played. He's gonna do the right thing. You're gonna see. He's gonna be like the most strategic, like idol player that you've seen, and it's gonna be like, oh man, idols can really flip the game around, and I think Adam's got the know-how to make that happen. You'll wait for the right time. Well, there's going to be talk about that. That's like the last time he's going to talk about that. And it will come out with his tribe mates. And, like, yeah, it's pretty serious with his mother, so you never know what's going to happen while he's on the island.
And you might say the other guys don't know he has an idol, but Anna was right there when he found it.
he'll make it work. I think he's clever enough. We'll see how next episode plays out if Hannah's spreading that rumor or not. But I think it's always tricky. Finding an idol is sometimes a death note for you to get voted off, but other times people know how to play it just right and are able to outlast everyone else because of it.
Let's go to the idol. We're talking about idols. Let's go to the tribal council.
Okay, first of all, no one was writing down his name. Second of all, like he didn't even use it for himself; he used it for someone else. Third of all, it's way too early in the game to like think that there's any kind of loyalty built because he gave that idol. And fourth, to top it all off, the person he gave the idol to didn't even vote with him. Like she voted for Cece. The only person, like only two people voted for Lucy, which is who David wanted to get off. And it wasn't even the person he gave the idol to. So they have no alliance, no relationship. It was just like David thought, I wanted to control this tribal council way early in the game. For some reason, he thought it was such an important tribal council to control, one that no one was voting for him, that he had to play it to get Lucy off for some reason. Yeah, it's crazy. Uh, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, sure, okay, but Jessica didn't vote with him, so obviously she doesn't trust him. Like, like
Because
he's
she
trying to
didn't think she was getting voted out. She didn't vote it out. Maybe that's trust. But now, yeah, they were trying to vote her.
Oh,
And then
okay, yeah.
right. What's the target?
There, no, even uh David's best friend on the island, Ken, didn't even vote with him. Like he's got it's all in his head and like has these great master plans and like just has his own way of executing it, which that now he probably has this great golden horizon, like, oh, I'm like the hero of Jessica. She's gonna love me. Ken's my best friend, like sure, like this is gonna be the best, strongest alliance ever. But no, come on, there's no way. Like I don't know, he's just crazy. He's just legitimately crazy.
I thought Ken was probably voting with his heart at that point.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting too, like how you're saying that Ken votes with his heart because they're trying to build up this whole like Gen X versus Millennials thing, and like playing with your heart seems more like a Gen X or a Millennial thing, whereas the Gen X is supposed to be like be more logical, calm, rational. That's the impression that I get, and then you see like a lot of these stereotypes I think are broken down in this Survivor season. I don't know, that's the impression that I get. Yeah. So I think like they're trying to play up the stereotypes, and I think I agree. Like I think as the season progresses, already there's a lot of those stereotypes that are being broken down, and a lot more like similarities and surprising. And you can't classify an entire generation as being one way because that's so impossible. So I think this is even though they're like playing up the stereotypes, I think really they're like breaking down the stereotypes of generations.
And it was Jeff who's really trying to play up the stereotypes. And, what about that puzzle? I mean,
Yeah, oh yeah, that was definitely a tough puzzle. And like, they always try to play test them, and sometimes they get surprised. People solve it too easily, too quickly. Like, oh man, I'm gonna make it harder, and then they make it too hard. And like, okay, now I gotta make it easier, and there's always that luck factor, and like, so yeah, it's tough, to really make a balanced challenge. Um, the best challenge ever was the one that was designed by a fan by that kid, and it broke Missy's ankle. That was a couple survivors back, but
you
anyway,
have to tell
side
me
note.
more about that. I'm not sure I remember that.
It was like the most like elaborate, like huge, like teeter totters and like things you had to climb over and climb under, and it was this like huge
Obstacle.
set. It was an obstacle course, yeah. And there was this one that was like this giant like teeter totter seesaw thing where you run up the one side and it's all ropes, and then as you come down the other side, it comes like crashing down to the ground.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so Missy, who was so annoying in that episode, that was the mother of the girl who won, and she was running down the other side. Bam! Hits the ground and breaks her ankle. It comes down so hard. Like the set was like so monstrous. You just knew like someone's got to get hurt at some point in this obstacle. And at the end of the season, you realize that it was designed by this like 12-year-old kid. And like when Jeff said that, like everyone in the studio was like clapping because like yeah, that broke the one that broke Missy's foot.
Glad they
Awesome
got a
design.
seesaw inspired by the
Yeah.
ground.
Exactly, exactly. So they got to be careful like how they design these things too, because like sure anyone can come up with any crazy idea, but they also have to, they don't want people to get hurt on them too. As much as you want to like some rough tough thing going on, but you don't want you know stuff like that unless it's Missy getting hurt, then you're okay with it. But sorry, that's
Okay.
mean. Okay, that was kind of mean. Maybe that's below the belt. Sorry, Missy. I love you too. I love all Survivor. Just you love the conflict, you love the tension. You got to pick your favorite. You gotta have your heroes and villains, and you got to pick on some people, and you got to love other people. It's just the fun of it. Oh, there's always someone who replaces the leader, right? Whenever there's a gap, someone just gets sucked right into it and does the same mistakes as the last one. Um, Cece is a possible candidate. I don't know. I just feel like we haven't really seen her true colors yet, and maybe she thinks she's got a vote. She's gonna get a little scared. Sees a fragmented tribe. I think she may come through and start dictating. The power couple,
Yeah.
villains in their own way.
Taylor and what's her name?
Yeah, there's. I think you're right with that. That makes sense. There's always someone who has a chip on their shoulder and they have an axe to grind, and they'll use tribal council to do that. Michelle seems like that kind of person. Oh no, I don't know. It's tough. This first, the first few episodes, it's always tough to really get a good grasp and attach to people. So, like the first couple episodes, honestly, like I was like, okay, yeah, things are good, But this episode with like David and his craziness is like, okay, yeah, now we're in it. Now we're into Crazy Survivor. This game on. So no, I like to go in fresh, baby.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, there's always like a weak crack in alliances and stuff. And that's another reason why David playing that immunity deal so soon when there's now a swap and it's totally like who knows who he's gonna end up with.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it all depends on on the dynamics of that new team. Like, do people's alliances move together, or are they broken up? They got to form new alliances. Like, who are the leaders? Who are the heroes? Who are the villains? So it's really tough to say before knowing actually how the two tribes are going to be made up. If there's two tribes or three tribes, or who knows what they're going to do.
Well, I guess wrap it there. Thank you so much for being with me on the show. Last words, Bradley.
Go Adam, go! Go Adam, go! Yeah,
Oh, Ken. Ken.
Adam, Adam,
Adam. That's Lions. Adam.
and Adam.
I like Adam.
Yeah, there you go, there you go. Yep, yep.
I haven't seen
Okay,
enough.
nice chatting with you.
Haven't seen enough of him, but I like him. I like Zeke. I like Adam.
Yeah, he's fun. I can't wait for the next episode.